named her Lotta. Alright. Yeah, that was pretty close. We did nearly fail there with my guesswork. Death penalty. Ooh. Alright, the kid's still here. The true murderer right here. See you later, Jura. Hopefully you won't miss too much, yeah. Lot of hearts. If you lose, my ghost will haunt you. She still shows up once in a while in emergencies. Through psychic transformation. Alright. Round 2. Just whip the judge when he tries to call to order. The photographer. She was not in the room with the channeling. We already know that much. Hey, Lotta. Been better. Oh, that's right. She switches into a southern drawl every so often. This here is violence against my fair self. It's fine. You're allowed to get whipped in court. Oh, she's back on the fool bandwagon. The fool train. Choo-choo to the fool train. Alright, what happened on the day of the murder? Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer. Testify. One big happy family as we try to sentence a little girl to jail for life, or perhaps execution. Alright, so let's start. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang! We hears the gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim, and a defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. Did you take a picture? Reckon course. Reckon course. Short for you reckon, except longer. Course I did. My totally terrible fake southern accent. Alright. This here's the picture. Smoking gun. Now, I will submit that that doesn't actually look much like Maya. But how are you going to prove psychic transformation? Alright. Lotta took a photo. Alright. Cross-examination. Let's do it. Just to cover some of the backstory, so I do remember a little bit here. The doc is the doctor referred to in this old newspaper clipping. And I believe they were trying to... So, like, this is Dr. Gray is the victim. And this is, like, a couple years ago, or, you know, some number of years ago, some patients died from malpractice. And then, also, Mimi Meanie, who was a nurse, died, apparently, while falling asleep at the wheel after the malpractice suit. I believe the psychic reading was to talk to Mimi Meanie to find out more about what happened, because I believe all the controversy ruined Doc Gray's business. And there's definitely some things to sort out. And I believe something to do back then was linked to the psychic stuff anyway. Like, I can't remember exactly how the details went, but like, maybe Mimi Meanie originally went to the psychics for help, and they had like a seance or whatever they call them, and that like implicated Doc Gray, and then she died, and then the case died with her kind of thing. Something weird like that anyway. I'm sure they'll explain it at some point. Anyway, that's sort of who these people are a little bit better. Okay, so only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. How do you know that it was only those two?
Objection!
Well, they're the only two we know about at the very least. Yes, yes, yes. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang, we hears the gunshot. You mean 2 gunshots? What about the 2 gunshots? A gunshot? Singular? No, this, don't you object me. If we only heard 1 gunshot, then how did 2 bullets leave the gun? Well, this testimony's going great. I like how everyone just conveniently forgets that the police testified that there was 2 shots fired. To be fair, in the previous game, she said she heard a gunshot or something. There was actually a rather important plot point about people thinking they heard gunshots when that was actually like firecrackers or something, and they had no idea what was going on. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down. Well, we're just gonna press her anyway. We're just repeating everything she says. Honestly, Phoenix. It's the same thing every time. Yeah. Well, that was the point in the first game, is that Lotta, I believe it was Lotta, mistook them for each other, and then it totally threw off the testimony because we kept getting the times wrong on everyone thought the parrot shot this guy. It was complicated. You're a real man. Yeah, that's great. Alright, inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. Yeah, I mean I did say the picture looked a little suspicious. Sure, I'm sure. Always press harder. Think back to that day one more time. Remember what you said when we broke into the room. Oh, right. Yeah. There was something weird that happened here. Also, that's totally not mine, in case you're wondering. When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? That's just rude. No need to make fun of our defense. It's not like we had any time to prepare for this case at all. It happened like yesterday. Hey, Marcus. So, we do know that Maya and Dr. Gray went in. Then the door was locked, then there was a gunshot, then we busted in, but it didn't look like Maya when we busted in, which is suspicious. Well, it's hard to understand how it could be anyone else. I'm trapped like one, again! Alright, she swears, other than those two, there was no one. This is the final pressing. It's really Mia that you prefer, though, to be fair, Jirao. I'm sure we'll find Mia eventually. She's the one that's, she's got all the assets, essentially. Right, the old witch chased us out of the room. That's, Pearlie's mother. Morgan Fey. Not Morgana, not quite. It was very dark. So, what if someone was behind the folding screen? No one checked back there, as far as I remember. Rick Given? Rick Given, you know, you reckon. That's a given. I took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. Uh-huh. Rick Given? I mean... Poor old judge. Now then, Mr. Phoenix. An evil twin? Alright, so our cross-examination is not going so well. At the time of the crime, only 2 people were in the channeling chamber. For now. Dr. Turner Gray and Maya Fey. Conveniently rhyming. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in the picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant. It's mostly, like, circumstantial in that sense, because there's no hard evidence, but yeah. You look as if you have something to say. Well, we are definitely getting low on life. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya? Well, again, I'm just gonna put that down in case. What do you guys think? How could we prove that this was or was not Maya? We don't have like a picture of Maya here, do we? Anything about her robe? Can't see the cleavage, so it's difficult. Well, it should be all over her. The way that... yeah, let's not get into that too far. I don't... I'm leaning on there's nothing we can do here yet. Unless there's a picture of the nurse. There's no pictures of the nurse. No reason I'd want to find out about the nurse, what she looks like. There we go. That's the evidence. The handedness of Maya? There's really not a lot of evidence, because we're still pretty early on in the trial, really. All we've got really related at all is this bullet hole on the folding screen, a key, a floor plan, the autopsy report, the pistol. It doesn't say... The knife theoretically could have, like, left or right-handed fingerprints, but it doesn't clear that specific detail up. And then we know her left sleeve has a bullet hole in it that was shot at her when she was at the back of the room. Well, I'm thinking that maybe there's nothing yet. We'll see. Sometimes it is better to hold your cards for a little bit longer. The time between the gunshot... And again, I think the question here is more, was there two gunshots or not? Because if everyone heard one gunshot, but the only one we've proved happened was him shooting at her so far, then how did she execute him with a second gunshot if no one heard it? So I think there's going to be some clarification on that coming up. I probably should have presented the gun. Well, I don't know. This is not looking good. I do feel like guilty beyond proof beyond reasonable doubt is not yet exactly presented, but okay. We need something. Uh-oh, uh-oh. It's time for psychic assistance. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Yeah, that's what they teach you in law school, right? Alright. The real sis is back. And it was Pearls this time. So don't look into this too closely. Pearls is like 10. Yeah, this was your boss from the first game. She was murdered really early on in the first game. But, yeah, the Fays can psychically possess each other, apparently. It's interesting. Busting at the seams, clearly. And no one else in the courtroom will even notice. Alright, think carefully. I'm trying. Click. Yes, so Maya was saying, supposedly Maya was saying I was murdered. And she did look a little different. Gotta question the Lotta. Hold it! Exactly. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time. Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late. It's already ended. Furthermore, any whipped. Okay. Oh, her arrogance shines through. Well, thanks, Von Karma. She's doing us a favor here. Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Not really me. I'm pretty sure Von Karma helped us. Yeah. Alright, so. More witness testimony. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. Something it is. Pressing. I do think she has a crush on him. She just likes seeing him squirm and have fun in court. She wants to drag this on as long as possible. Alright. So, all I could focus on was Maya. Why? Or what did she look like? Yeah. She looked almost like a different person. She may have seemed like a different person, but she was still Maya. It's that whip, right, Jirao? She'd probably be pretty kinky. Did you see anything else? I was kind of scared of the dead body. Oh, Phoenix. Someone else was dead. That's possible. Fools! Foolish fool, spouting foolish foolishness. Just as I expect of a foolish fool such as you. Yeah, no, she's clearly alive. It was a different body, probably. No, okay, look. Yes, just continue, Lotta. Phoenix is drunk. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. I like it when you add stuff to your expert testimony. So, knowing that, you persist in becoming a paranormal photographer then. Oh, she's retiring. Oh, tabloid photography. We do have a hard time staying on topic, I will agree. Tag team in stereo. Guess I should be glad it's not 5.0. Dolby surround. I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. This is the last line. We gotta press it. 2. 2 shots. You took 2 shots. I didn't remember this at all, but apparently Phoenix remembered. Miss Hart! Where is the other picture you've been withholding? No, you've got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Then why have you not shown the other picture? Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. That's very short-sighted of Von Karma, because Phoenix was in the room with Hart when she took the 2 photos. So how would he not know about them? Withholding critical evidence? Like father, like daughter. Confront her! The defense asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court. Come on! That's pretty contemptuous. You did hide evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. You should probably be, like, quoting some case law or some sort of rule. Alright, but the judge gives her a chance to explain herself. Well, I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it, that's all. Yeah. Like that would hold up. The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? It's just so much more trouble than it's worth to submit this as evidence. If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. Photo number 2. There's the money shot. Oh, but look. Or it's supposed to be the left sleeve. This changes everything! The second picture the witness took that day at the crime scene. Oh yes, also, definitely does not look like Maya Fey. If you've seen her recently, that is not her face or her body composition to the slightest. That's also true. What is the meaning of this? But how are you gonna argue psychic transformation in freaking court? I'm not even sure actually, because like technically it is Maya, but transformed. Because that's how it works. So I'm not sure if this actually goes anywhere. But I guess this is all we've got, so we've got to try. Well, to be fair though, it's not all we got. Now that this photo is in evidence, we can look at the sleeves. I think it's still Maya, but what it's going to do is it's going to prove that the bullet hole in her sleeve didn't show up at this point. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. We'll go with it's not Maya for now. And you could be right, Jarrell. I was thinking of it in a different direction, but... her whole body has taken on a different appearance. There's only one conclusion that can be drawn then. Somehow, this other person snuck in and traded places. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Alright, let's go with that. There are a lot of other holes in this case, yes. Still smiling. Those gloves. Uh-huh. That's Boss back at the detention center yesterday. She's pretty dead. Yeah. So now we have to debate psychic transformation in the middle of court. She physically changes into the person she's calling. Okay. Oh, can we call her on that? Seeing it's pretty, like, yeah, like if you're in the, that's confidential meeting, right? Your lawyer, there's some sort of lawyer privilege for meetings with defendants. Like, there's just got to be some law about that, yeah. Obviously, this picture's illegal, but no one will do anything about it. It doesn't matter. The fact that you took it should be, like, reprehensible. Like, it probably would cause a mistrial, and anyone that saw this picture, like, you'd be stricken from the record that you're not allowed to even consider it. I'm pretty sure she just mistrialed herself. So she's just gonna try to prove that basically Maya Fey is a shapeshifter. Alright, we're gonna go with Jarrell's theory, because I think it's the right one now. Your Honor, the fire has returned. Yeah, everyone would be mistrialing. That's probably fair to say. Although it's usually the prosecutor in the Phoenix Wright games. A critical contradiction. And if we get it wrong, we lose the case. It was left sleeve. Right? Not the right sleeve, the left sleeve. Yes. Take that! Take that! Please direct your attention here. To the sleeve. There isn't anything odd about it. Correct! That is exactly what is so odd. I think they're generally fairly... The game is pretty generous with you selecting areas in evidence, but yeah. Something should be there. No, now she's all nervous again. There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well. Miss Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? She did hide a valuable piece of evidence. You'll be assigned a penalty of $2. Mia's so good at court stuff. True lawyerese. Is she still smiling? She's still smiling! And takes a bow. Probably. So can we all just agree that this case is complete baloney and just throw it out now? She doesn't know what's going on at all, so why are we even in court today? When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in the sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none. Alright, load everything into one shot. Your Honor, there is only one logical explanation for the contradiction. Well, that's not true. Which one of these? I actually don't know. I have to think about this for a second. I mean, this is the one that furthers our case the most. We do know that there was 2 shots from the gun at some point. Oh, you know, I forgot to... meant to set that up in the middle of the screen there. Skewed! Alright, so, I don't know for sure. How could they have fired a gun later on, though? Like, this was after everyone was in the room. Well, no, because what happened was, if I remember, Phoenix and Lotta barged in, took the shot, and then we got pushed out by Morgana Le Fay, and she did some stuff behind the door until the cops showed up. I'll try this one. There is only one explanation for why there is no hole in the sleeve. The hole was created much later, after the murder took place. Okay, it looks like we might have the right idea here. Those 2 gunshots we heard were before we broke in. Okay. Pistol fired only 2 shots, no more, no less. Oh no, we lose! We guessed wrong, so Maya goes to jail and is murdered for murdering. No more time. Game over. This is like the most hilarious part, is like, you make one last mistake and the judge is like, you know what, forget it. I don't care how sketchy this case ended up. Guilty. Even though everything has been super suspicious and sketchy, your lawyer messed up. Now go to jail. I'll reload it in just a second, don't worry. That's essentially why I use save states every so often. Alright, well then, I guess we should have gone with my first hunch. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. That was not what my other explanation was. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. Who else can transform? The answer might surprise you. If order is not restored, I will suspend the... Hey, ow, ow, stop that! It's not that messy. She did say that. My whip will be the last thing you ever see. Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Alright, so if the person in the picture is not the defendant, then we'll have to release Maya Fey immediately. Except it is guilty until proven innocent. You have to answer all the questions correctly, or else Maya is just de facto guilty. Yeah, Marcus. Whips and leather gloves. Yeah. How do we need to turn things around? We already just proved that it was not Maya that was holding the gun. They always make you take it to extremes. Alright. So, where did this intruder appear from? And where did Maya disappear to? A different angle! What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? I think what happened before we forced our way into the channeling chamber is... It's all pretty fishy to me. I think Maya had already left the room. We can totally prove this, right guys? Maya Fey was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. Aww, the chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than the detective's salary. Prove that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room. Oh no. I mean, this is a partial map of the building. Maybe there's a secret door behind the folding screen. I actually don't really know. Is there anything in the pictures that we just didn't notice? Can't see a whole lot. Like in the back somewhere, there'd be like a secret door. Sure is dark back there. A thing called Winding Way. Oh, wait. On the map? Did I miss something? So, Winding Way is, like, there's a big entrance room, like, the main entrance is, like, down here somewhere. And then, this is, like, just a hallway, there's, like, a garden, and then this is, like, a sleeping room. But this is where the murder took place. And, assumedly, there's no connections. But I think this is what we were supposed to present, I'm not sure how to do it. Maybe not. Apparently not. Come on, maps. Maps are the perfect evidence. I love maps. Alright, so... Now, it could be I picked the wrong option. It is possible that I'm not supposed to be proving that Maya left. But we're supposed to be proving that someone else was in there or something. But I don't know right now. I'm kind of winging it here. From the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room. So the picture of these two is the same, right? Like, it's the same body type. Well, I mean, okay. If this is what Maya was wearing at the time of the murder, there's blood on it and a bullet hole. Where did it go if it's not in the room on the time that those pictures were made? Right? If this shirt had to be in the room when the victim was stabbed and a gunshot was fired. After the gunshot was fired, we rushed into the room, took the picture. This shirt is not in there. Come on, Phoenix. He didn't get it. Alright, well, I felt like that was correct, but, maybe we'll try someone else entered. I don't know. I don't know if I was supposed to take a different option at the three-way. Can we prove that someone else was in the room? This sounds even harder. Before the murder took place. Could be the kimono here. Maybe they could have switched shirts at some point. I don't know. I don't know now. I guess this is it. Thank you. Uh-oh. Aw, I thought I might have had it that time. Well, it could be something I can't prove yet, yeah. I hate it when it's like, you have to pick a selection that, honestly, because Phoenix is making it sound like he knows what he's doing, but the answer is, actually, we have no idea what we're doing, and we'll have to figure it out as we go. But yeah, I think we're kind of running out of options here, so let's give it a shot. I'm sorry, but I simply can't. See, we push them this far, and then we just say we can't. When the plot goes this way, it always makes me a little angry. If this is the case. Will Mia even let us give up? So I think they're just taking us right back here. Alright, we're not allowed to back out. We have to go with one of these. Oh man, I'm not catching on to this very quick today. I do think that between the gunshot and when we entered the channeling chamber, I think Maya had left the room. The third person I think was in there before that is the thing. Oh, is that what Mia said? I didn't catch that specifically. Well, I just mean, like, in the timeline, I think the third person was in earlier, because that's how Maya's shirt got shot. I think. But Well, okay, we'll go with Chad on this one because I'm kind of just guessing anyway. So we'll go with the third person, and we need to prove that someone else was in the room before the murder, which is fine, like that will cover it. But how do we do that? I mean, we have this magic key. Or are we just proving that this person was in? The person that's not Maya was in here? Like, we already did that, didn't we? I tried the shirt. It could just be this again. I mean, like, it seems like proof that there was someone else in the room is that this is someone else. Because it couldn't have been Maya. But I don't think this will work. No. Well, let's try something else. It's gotta be something. This game is actually stumping me more than I expected today. Proof that there was someone else in the room. I guess it could be the key, I don't know. No. The key, I think Morgan Le Fay had one key, and that was her proof that no one could get in or out of the room, was that there was just the one way in, and the key was the only way in, and we had to break the door down. But I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But no, we're dead. Alright, we're still sticking with the third person idea, but... running a bit low on ideas. Unless there's like something in the back of one of these pictures that I just can't quite see. See, that was my assumption, was that the whole idea was that before the ritual even started, someone was already in there behind the screen. I think it might be something like this, actually. No. No. That's kind of what I was going with, Jirao, yeah. Because it could have been... It didn't have to be sleeve then screen. It could have been screen then sleeve. But that didn't work. Alright. We're getting into the long shot territory now. Well, I was thinking someone was hiding behind the screen, but I haven't been able to find any evidence that would prove that. I have a plan. Alright. I have the solution. It was actually Maya had left the room, like I said originally. I had to cheat. Just to save us a little bit of time for the stream is all. Any last guesses from the chat? Prove that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room. It's apparently the key. The key to the case. Because I didn't remember this from the beginning of the trial, or the beginning of the game either. The channeling chamber key. Okay. So before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that. Right. That's why we had to bust the door down. And supposedly it's one of a kind. Yes. So what does this do? Yes, just like Chad had asked. Why is the key in my possession? Oh, just a second, guys. Sorry. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that little break. Just had to go to the door. Okay, so... apparently, if Maya Fey locked herself in, she would have had the key. How did I get the key? She did not have the key at the time of her arrest. And ain't that a kick? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time. Okay, so that must be Pearl, and he got it outside. I don't know why. I don't remember why that happened. Oh no. Now it's starting to come together in my mind. So yes, the little girl Pearl gave Phoenix the key, I think outside the Fae household, before we even knew there was a murder. I think. We were waiting for Maya to finish her stuff, and the little girl gave us the key. Probably not. Even if she has to lie and cheat, she'll do whatever it takes. Alright, that's the end of our first day of court, everybody. So, it would have been a little bit more sensible if we'd remembered the beginning of the game, because that was a long time ago and I kind of forgot. But yes, Pearly, her cousin or something, summoned her sister. Pearl is also the one that gave us the key, and can clearly channel spirits. Like, we saw Maya was able to turn into Mia, and now we've seen Pearl turn into Mia as well. So we have a picture of not Maya turning into somebody else. could be Pearl. She's the one that gave us the key. Maybe she went into the seance room. Also of note, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Phoenix Wright sort of lore, the person that does the channeling tends to remember nothing about it. So, like, when Maya turns into Mia, she generally doesn't even remember it happened. The judge would be removed for EDC. Yeah, well, that's why they have 3-day court maximums here. And the magic does clearly mess things up a bit, yeah. That's possible, yeah. The thing is, like I said, these girls, when they do their transformations, they don't really remember it at all. So the fact that Maya can't remember what happened during the murder is, well, maybe she was channeling a spirit. But if Maya was not the one in the room at the time of the murder because of the bullet holes and everything, and the key, I don't know. I still don't really know 100%, and I should remember a little bit better than this. I think she's just faking it. Just to try to pretend to be cute. What's a ticket? Alright! Another day done.